Hello there, athletes. This video is going to talk a little bit about how we can be creative. This is a little bit more specific for people who have kettlebells. And I know a lot of people have, memberships to the gym, but they usually have 1 or 2 kettlebells at their house for at-home workouts or when they're on the road or when they can't make it to the gym. And some of you might be finding yourself with these kind of funny in-between weights where it's like, this feels too light for this exercise or it feels too heavy for this exercise, and everything kind of in the middle. So what we can do is think about 2 things. One is greasing the groove, owning a weight before you jump up into the heavier one that you might have, okay? And what we mean by greasing the groove is doing a fair amount of workouts in a week or a month, but at these 4 or 6 rep sets, but you're doing lots of them. Okay, so you can add volume into your training, even though, I don't want you to go to these 20 rep burnout sets. You can add reps in your sets by just adding more sets, right? Don't get into those I'm totally pumped type, 20 rep sets. Just add another round into your presses or your swings or your squats, okay? So you can get stronger that way. Again, we call that greasing the groove. Or what we can do is if you're starting to get close to wanting to maybe use a heavy weight, like for example here, I have a 35 pound and a 50 pound. And so for me, for pressing, 35 feels really easy. 50 feels pretty good, not terrible, but maybe sometimes it feels like too much. So I could just do a lot with the 35 pound and then move up to the 50. And then maybe I'm grooving and I'm feeling really strong and I want to go a little bit heavier. These are the only kettlebells I have at my house right now. This isn't the best example, but I can make a 85 pound kettlebell with these 2, right? So we got to learn a little bit about how to kettlebell stack or put 2 kettlebells together to make a weight for whatever exercise you want to do. So some of you might be stuck at home, but you want to get away from that volume training. Maybe you tried that, but you want to add a little bit of load and have a little bit more of a raw or pure strength session. You might have a 10 pound and a 15 pound kettlebell where those feel too light or too heavy or not enough. You can make it a 25 pound kettlebell by putting them on top of each other. And the way we do that is you want to make sure, if I'm doing my right arm here, I want to make sure this thing is the bigger kettlebell is gonna fall onto my forearm, not the smaller end. So if I'm gonna do my right side, this is gonna be right of the smaller kettlebell, if that makes sense. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna tip these 2 handles together. It's gonna feel a little hard because the handles are so big. This is gonna be quite a bit of weight, so I'm gonna have to use 2 hands. But again, this is gonna fall on my forearm. If this was switched, it'd be a little funky. So I'm gonna use 2 hands. And all of a sudden, I've made an 85 pound kettlebell, okay? I don't necessarily need that kind of weight, but if I had to, if a 50 pound one arm kind of offset squat felt too easy, I'm gonna try it with 85, like this. Not ideal, but it works.